Take a look at these lush and colorful crepe myrtle trees. Now, right now, they're in full bloom, and these ones were actually photographed on the campus of Salisbury University. Now, these are highly resilient plants that can resist the effects of pests and other diseases.
Their iconic silhouette is hard to mistake, and the variety of color is second to none. Here to discuss these plants is none other than our resident gardening expert, Ginny Rosenkranz with the University of Maryland Extension. Welcome to DelmarvaLife.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me and all my friends.
Yes.
Please tell us about what you have here. This is beautiful.
Well, I love crepe myrtles, and this is the time of year when it's really hot, and most things kind of like go, oh, it's too hot to do anything. And these guys just bloom and bloom and bloom, and they're just fabulous, which is really cool. But there's different types of crepe myrtles. There's really tall ones that have these beautiful vase shapes, like you saw the ones at Salisbury University. And then there's others that like to be a really tight little bush, but they can still get to be 20, 25 feet tall. So you have to know, some of them get 5 feet tall, some get 10, 12, 20 feet, 30 feet. And you have to know what you're buying, because otherwise you put it and it's the perfect color, but it's the wrong place. It's the right plant in the wrong place.
That's exactly what I did with mine. I thought I had the tall one, it was the bush one. And one thing I noticed about it, and we mentioned it, they're resilient.
Oh, yes.
They're hard to kill. Why is that?
Well, because they like our sandy soil. They don't mind the heat. They don't mind the drought. So when you have all that, it's good. Plus, they're not native, so there's a lot of things that are native insects that aren't going to bother them. So, but what I think is interesting though is there's some that we still have some of the older varieties, and I do want to show this one right here. So this is an old variety, and it's called Charlie, and it's a medium-sized one. It's really pretty, but if you look at it from this side, the flowers are all covered with white, and this is powdery mildew. And this is a problem that gets on the foliage. Like, for instance, this is a variety of crepe myrtle that's got white on the leaves, and that's powdery mildew. And so when the bay froze over, like 1996 or something like that, all of the crepe myrtles in the National Arboretum died. They froze to death.
Oh, no.
But there was one that was found by Dr. Egoff, and he went ahead and used that as a breeding stock to create the beautiful varieties that grow up as a vase shape. They're also resistant to powdery mildew.
Okay.
So that would be like Natchez. They all have Indian names. The purple one is Muskegee. There's a really pretty bright pink one that's Pierce. So all Indian names. But then there was another guy in Oklahoma who was like, yeah, those are really nice, and they're nice pale things. And he wanted something with bolder, brighter colors. He said, I wanted them like dynamite.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have a dynamite crepe myrtle, and they are bright red, and they are just vivid. So you can go ahead and get either kind.
Yeah.
But you have to know, do a little research, find out, first of all, what the name is, and then you can find out how tall does it get, how wide does it get. My Natchez is 30 feet high, 30 feet wide.
Wow.
Yes.
My pink velour is 5 to 15 feet wide and maybe 20 feet tall.
And it doesn't take them long to get there because they grow fast.
They're fairly fast growers. They really, really are. And like I say, for the most part, the new varieties are powdery mildew resistant, so that the foliage is dark green and pretty, even in the heat of summertime. Well, the flowers are absolutely spectacular.
So how about the roots? Can they be a problem, or is that?
No, they're not like maples. Their roots stay nice in the ground.
Okay.
They're well behaved.
Behaved roots is good.
Yes, but again, you don't want to put it right beside a sidewalk until you figure out what type it is, how wide it gets, because you also want to have room for people to go walking back and forth, and that's really important.
So is there any maintenance to take care of them? Is there anything we need to do?
Well, the ones that grow tall, like for instance Natchez, I do have to go ahead. I limbed that up because it has gorgeous exfoliating bark. The bark is like tan and rust and a little bit of cream, beautiful colors, and the bark just flakes off. So I like to have that look as well as that beautiful vase shape. Whereas the other ones, like for instance, the ones from Oklahoma that are very tight and just stay like pink velour, it just stays where it is. I have done nothing to her, and she is fabulous.
Yes, they are beautiful.
It just depends. Now, some people do have a concern and complain about all the flowers on the ground, and I'm like, that's just flower confetti. And it'll blow away or in the gutter.
In the gutter, that's a problem I have. But that goes back to planting it in the wrong kind in the wrong place.
Yes.
Well, Jenny, thank you as always for bringing all this beauty in here and talking about crepe myrtles.
Thank you. There's a place for crepe myrtle everywhere.
Everywhere, even in Historic Studio D.